And we are live. Welcome to the first video edition of Clipper Call. Justin Russo is here, and we are joined by Anthony Irwin of Lakeshore Life and Lakers Outsiders.
Yeah,
Hey,
both of
guys.
those things. Both of them.
I almost said your old job.
No, it's no. We'll go both. Lakeshore Life and Lakers Outsiders.
Yep.
Shouts to those idiots.
So, how are you recovering, Justin?
I'm all right. Actually, it's really weird because I had to recap Game 7 for Clips Nation,
Yeah.
and so I had to cover Game 7, I had to do the preview and all that stuff, and because I do the film room series for the entire Houston series, I did the film room for Game 6, and it was actually therapeutic to do it. I was bummed after Game 6, but when I did the film room, I was actually kind of okay. And I think yesterday, I kind of expected the loss, just because that's just tough to come back from emotionally. And I mean, honestly, they didn't even play that poorly. They just, like the previous 3 games, they just missed their shots. And Josh Smith decided to rip my damn heart out because I deserve it or something.
I tweeted that out after the game, actually, and I felt kind of bad afterward. I felt like I was kind of piling on. But, I mean, I don't know how many teams ever come back and win after dropping that Game 6. I know the Lakers, they got blown out when the Suns came back on from 3-1 on them. The Game 7 wasn't even close, wasn't even remotely close.
Yeah, I remember that game. I remember that game, actually.
Do you know,
that was the game that Kobe... That was the game that Kobe got flack for not shooting in the second half or something, right?
Yeah, it was something weird going on there. Because I mean, they were saying that he was shooting too much in the other games, and yeah, it was really immature. But I've never understood the whole Kobe wasn't passing enough during that era. He had Luke Walton and Smush Parker in the same starting five.
And he still
had Chris Mem.
6 assists.
Yeah, they had Chris Mem. They had Kwame. I think they had Kwame back then. Or maybe not.
I feel like Caron Butler was there.
Yeah, they might have still had Caron Butler. So.
God, that was a bad team.
Oh my gosh! You'll go back and watch that 81-point game, and you look at the faces there. I consider myself a decent, Laker fan or Laker historian. There are guys on there that I have to who the hell is that guy? Sorry, I got sidetracked though, but yeah, Game 7 was tough for you guys to pull off. I didn't think there was a scenario where you guys would win that game.
You know why Josh Smith went nuts? Because I remember about a month ago Justin saying that he was the 6th man of the year or something along those lines.
I did. I gave him my 6th man of the year, and and then we played him, and for the first 4 games I was like, yes, maybe I jinxed him, and then he decided to rip my damn heart out.
That was crazy. That step back he had on DeAndre was just.
Yeah.
When he hit that, I knew it was like the series was over. That was like series over shot.
Yeah, I put that in the film room for Game 6. That was the last video I posted, and I said this is the worst shot I've ever seen a guy take. I was like, he probe dribbled for 15 seconds, passed, got the ball back, probe dribbled again, and stepped back to do a 3 with DeAndre Jordan in his face, and he nailed it. And I was like, okay, we can leave now. I deserve this. There was something I did in a past life to deserve this. I tried to think about what the hell I did in a past life. I was like, did I kill Abraham Lincoln? Was I John Wilkes Booth or something?
You're John Wilkes Truth. That's what your new nickname has to be on Twitter.
That should be Paul Pierce's nickname, John Wilkes Truth.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I'm sad Pierce is out of the playoffs. Actually, he was.
I'm not.
He was fun.
In there. Pierce. Oh man. I hate it because it's everybody was talking about how much he's saved Washington and he's a veteran guy and this, that, and the other, and I'm sitting there God, this is so nauseating.
Oh, the Clippers could use him. The Clippers could use. Yeah.
Oh, they could have.
They could have, but no one knows what the hell happened with those negotiations.
Yeah.
They wanted Spencer Hawes.
They did.
Well, there's 2 trains of thought. There's one side that says they really wanted Hawes, and then there was another side that says Pierce told them he wasn't going to sign with them. So, what can you do?
Yeah, I've heard the opposite, that he was lobbying to be a Clipper, and that they still went with Hawes.
Well, maybe he will be this coming season because he can opt out in Washington.
Yeah, but is he really going to opt out and then take half the price?
He might if he feels he's closer to a title somewhere else.
Yeah,
Because I don't
know.
think Pierce is in
I
it for
don't
the
know.
money.
I don't see how he goes through last offseason. If my scenario was true, right, where they passed on keeping him or signing him after he tried to lobby, and then they couldn't even play Spencer Hawes for a lot of the playoffs, and then he's sitting there the whole time like I told you so. I don't see where he goes, where he now turns around and says, "All right, it's okay, I forgive you."
Right. I mean, Pierce is one of those one of the older generation of guys who it's like, once you disrespect me, you're never getting my respect back.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like Garnett. Like Garnett's the same way, and Kobe's the same way, and those guys, the older generation of players. So yeah, if it did go down like where they just chose Hawes over him, then yeah, he's not coming to the Clippers.
Well, of course, getting bounced in the second round comes with a number of overreactions, as we're used to.
Yeah.
Such as, let's not re-sign DeAndre Jordan, even though we can't sign anyone else.
Yeah, there's some people who don't understand the collective bargaining agreement, because someone on Twitter was like, "Why don't you just let him walk and then sign Marcus?" Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's not how that works.
The amount of times I've seen that.
It's like, oh, well, rather than giving DeAndre Jordan $100 million, you can spend that $100 million wisely on other players. Like, that's not how that works. Like you don't. It's not like, oh, he didn't take $100 million. Now I get to spend $100 million on other people. Like, that's not how that works.
Yeah. I didn't eat that potato. That means I can now have 3 potatoes tomorrow and feel perfectly fine.
Right? Jesus.
And
look, they don't need to let him walk. I don't think they will let him walk. They're going to offer him the true max contract day 1, minute 1.
And then it's up to him.
Yeah, it's up to him. Now, someone asked an interesting question on Twitter today. I saw it get posed. It was like, are the tax ramifications so big that a 4-year deal in Texas would actually be about equal to a 5-year deal in California?
Anthony, you'll know more about that.
Oh, yeah, because the Dwight Howard thing.
Well, no, I think no matter what, especially for somebody like DeAndre Jordan, who I don't think is going to age very well, he's just not skilled enough to age very well in the NBA. I'd take that 5th year at what is it, 30 whatever million?
I saw the number, it was like 24.
What's that?
25.
It was like 24, 25, yeah.
Yeah, but I just think if I'm DeAndre Jordan, his game is completely centered around athleticism, isn't it? And as soon as that starts to slip, he becomes all the less valuable. I'd take the security, but the tax ramifications, I'd say he doesn't save anywhere near enough to make up for the extra 5th year.
The only reason I think he leaves is if some team offers him 2 years at the max, so then he can get in on the TV deal.
Or whatever 4-year max with a 2-year out.
Yeah, 2-year opt-out, like a player option on the last year and an early termination on the 2nd year.
Right.
I could see the Clippers doing that.
I couldn't see. I don't. Does Doc Rivers know he can do that?
Probably. Okay. Probably not. Probably not.
Because he did sign Spencer Hawes, and then after signing him, say, "Oh crap! Now we're on the hard cap." After signing him, he realized it.
Yeah, I don't think he knows how money works, which is that's the only thing that I would really fault him for as a GM.
Yeah.
I don't think he understands how the salary cap works.
The salary cap intricacies.
Yeah.
Which is pretty hard. There's a lot of stuff.
Did he hire a GM?
Yeah, there's a GM. There's a GM. His name is Dave Wohl, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And he's the actual GM. He's the title of GM.
He's the guy who receives the calls.
Yeah. Dave Wohl receives the calls. Doc Rivers is just, and I say just, but he's the president of basketball operations.
Makes the decisions.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So basically, Dave Wohl's the GM, and he just basically, Doc Rivers just has the final say.
So Doc just throws a whole bunch of mud at the wall and then sees what sticks, right?
Literally. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You had to get one pun in, didn't you? You had to get one pun in here, didn't you?
I can't help myself, man.
You should have heard my pun before we started, Justin.
Oh, I don't know if I want to hear it.
I sent Anthony a message saying, Justin, hopefully Justin is just in time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to retire. You got to retire.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened. I had to hear it. But
Oh,
no, I mean, Craig, I have to imagine you get the most traffic back and forth from readers and such. What was your least favorite, or I guess favorite overreaction that you were getting aside from the DeAndre Jordan business?
Um, Probably Chris Paul. You can't you can't win a championship with Chris Paul. Apparently, you can't win a championship with like the best point guard since Magic Johnson, or arguably top three.
I mean, he's right there in my conversation. It is weird though. I mean, a lot of weird stuff. It's a lot of bad luck, but I don't know. It is kind of weird that he hasn't made it past the second round.
Yeah,
Like the
a lot of it is
circumstances
bad luck.
are really weird.
but I just think like how much of it is his fault, and I don't know,
Yeah.
not over 10%. How can you blame him?
Yeah, I mean, what was the Justin? You have the J.J. Redick's shooting right off the top of your head, right?
Oh, yeah, I have it in an article ready to go, I believe, tomorrow. But which sidetrack for a minute. I really hate NBA League Pass right now.
Why?
Because that's where I get my video from. And
Oh yeah.
for some reason, Game 7, like it says it's available, but it's like there's like a technical issue, and it's pissing me off.
Hmm.
And so like it's stopping me from writing an article I need to write. But the J.J. Redick thing, first four games of the series for J.J. Redick on uncontested shots, 14 for 23. He was 9 for 14 on uncontested threes. Last 3 games of the series, 7 for 29 on uncontested shots, 5 for 24 on uncontested threes.
That's a lot of uncontested shots too.
Yeah,
29.
basically in 3 games, the final 3 games, he shot more uncontested shots and three-pointers than he did the first 4 games. Like, think about it, like, yeah, like the first 4 games, he took 14 uncontested threes. The last 3 games, he took 24.
Yeah.
Like, that's a
So
ton more.
your offense was working better, and yet it was resulting in fewer points.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the team as a whole, on uncontested shots the last 3 games, shot 41%. On uncontested threes, they shot 25%, and they got 76 looks.
And that's from a team that's shot really good on threes all year.
Yeah, someone asked me what they shot during the regular season on uncontested threes. I think when I found out it was like 39%.
Which is good.
So it's like, yeah, they shot 39% over the year on uncontested threes. They were at 43.5% the first 4 games, and then they cratered to 25% the last 3. Like, that's unbelievable.
How much? I mean, you try to find empirical answers or some kind of answer as to why that drop off happens aside from just sheer luck. Do you think it was a depth issue?
It could have been.
Redick doesn't really seem to get tired, like ever. I've seen him, like he looks the same after 40, like he does. I think he's just one of the fittest guys. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's like
Yeah.
Ray Allen used to be like that too. Those shooters that just run around screens all day are in incredible shape.
Yeah, I equate them to triathletes. Like, they're just ridiculously conditioned.
Yeah.
you could tell, like you could tell the fatigue in Blake Griffin. You could tell that at the end,
Yeah,
easily. But
that was really obvious.
But, like, you never see Redick breathing hard. Like, Redick doesn't breathe hard. Like as weird as that sounds, like, seriously, like, as weird as that sounds, like, you never see him really, like, huffing and puffing like Blake is or shuffling his feet slowly. Like, everything's still fast. Like, he does everything at the same speed all of your time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Weird.
it's unbelievable.
Right. So I don't know. I guess I'd be kind of playing devil's advocate here if I have a couple minutes. But like the one thing, the one overreaction I think that has some credence to it is how quickly windows close in the NBA. Right. Like we talked a little bit before the show, but you had Oklahoma City, 4 or 5 years ago, look like a future behemoth. Right. You had 3 of the most talented young players. Really, and then Serge Ibaka was on the upcoming too, and now they didn't even make the playoffs this year, right? And we're wondering where Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook might end up. And then same thing with Chicago. I tweeted out of kind of a short series the other day. Chicago's screwed. I don't see a single player on that team that you could point to and say we can build a championship team around this guy. And not to mention that, but they're about to fire Thibodeau, who's already at the top of a bunch of other teams' lists. That should tell you something, Chicago. And then, as all this is going on, I'm looking at the Clippers like, man, I'm not going to say they're done. I'm not even going to say they're close to done, but you still have to kind of worry about this core together. And then you have rumblings, right, about Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan. Do you guys feel that at all, or do you think, or am I just going nuts?
I think those rumblings are going to come like as soon as they were out, just because it's the thing that happens all the time as soon as guys hit free agency. The core, I think the core is good. The core is still really good. You put like their best 4 players with anyone else, like any other team, and those 4 best players win you 55 games every year. It's really like your 5th starter, Matt Barnes probably isn't good enough as a 5th starter, and then Crawford was nothing off the bench, which kills because he was the only thing off the bench. And Hawes was like nothing. If you get career average from Crawford and Hawes, then like these playoffs are completely different.
Do you think they turn it around? Those role player guys.
I don't think Crawford does. I think Crawford's just too old. I think his age finally caught up with him.
He's a lot older than I thought he was.
35.
Oh yeah. I wrote coming into the year. I said he's 35. And last year he didn't play like a 35-year-old, but this year you saw it.
Yeah.
You saw it a lot.
Well, he just wasn't. The thing that stuck out to me was that on his isolation plays, which I thought Doc went to way too much.
All his plays.
But those isolation plays, he was getting no separation, none whatsoever on his jumper.
And still shooting.
Yeah, and still shooting because that's what Jamal does.
Yeah. I mean that's what makes him the player he is, that mentality. But eventually Doc has to realize, hey, we probably shouldn't go to like 4 straight ISOs with Jamal.
Yeah.
To answer your question, the core needs to stay together because just breaking them up is bad. Like, because where do the Clippers? Like, you can't rebuild that team. They don't have a pick this year. Like, you're not going to sign and trade DeAndre Jordan in the draft. Like, you can't do that. So it's like you're not going to trade Chris Paul in the draft to somebody.
Well, interesting hypothetical. If the Clippers went DeAndre Jordan for the pick you guys have, just forget about salary cap. Do you guys who says no?
DeAndre for the pick?
If it's like 4th.
If it's 4th. I probably still don't do it.
Ooh.
Because we actually had this conversation on our last podcast with shameless plug with the Lakers Outsiders podcast. But like the thing with moving that pick for a player is that you're not necessarily just moving the pick. You're moving the pick plus the flexibility that comes with it, right? So,
yeah.
Like with trading, if we were to trade that pick for just DeAndre, you're essentially probably moving 2 players for DeAndre, 2 high-level players, because the flexibility of having, free agent money and then the actual pick for DeAndre, I'm just not sure I do it.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Like a lot of the other guys on the, I think the other guys that I do the show with are a lot more open to moving the pick. I'm extremely conservative in this sense.
I actually agree with you. I'm pretty conservative when it comes to moving like high picks too, because it's cheap talent for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like it's like basically okay. If you move the pick, you're trading cheap talent for 4 years for high expensive talent for 4 years. It's the same time period, but you're probably playing about $15 million per year more. And you're right, that is an extra player. That's like a Chris Middleton or something at a max contract.
Right. And then you look at a guy like, even if they're picking at number 4, like I know Willie Trill Cauley-Stein isn't DeAndre Jordan right now, right?
Please don't say his full name. Please don't say his full name.
No, you have
to. Willie Trill?
Willie Trill.
No.
Okay,
Can I
just call him Trill.
Trilly Cauley-Stein? 2 Trill to Thrill Cauley-Stein?
Oh my God.
That's my closest comparison for him, actually.
You're right. And it's like, how much more would DeAndre Jordan bring to the Lakers, compared to Trill, to our boy Trill?
I'll be honest with you.
But
if the Clippers lose DeAndre Jordan, that's about 12 wins off the season total.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you if the Clippers just lose them outright. But I'm saying, like, if the Lakers have, like, you're probably looking at maybe 7 games difference, right, between the two guys, which I'm perfectly fine with because Cauley-Stein's younger and cheaper.
yeah,
See, I look at it like this. Like, I have an article that's going to be coming out in the next couple days for Clips Nation about how there's a lot of similarities between this Clippers team the last 4 years as there were to the Dallas Mavericks team the 4 years prior to their title. The Clippers have like a 670 winning percentage the last 4 years. Mavericks were 680. Mavericks never made the Western Conference Finals the previous 4 years prior to their title. The Clippers haven't done the same. Like, it's basically the only big move that Dallas made the year that they won the title was getting Tyson Chandler, which, yes, that's a big move. Obviously that's a big move. And it's like, but the Clippers can swing a similar move if they can get a wing like defender. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I don't know. I just looked at it like I wrote it in one of the film rooms. It was just a confluence of errors. Like Murphy's Law happened the last 3 games, and it sucks. It sucks, but it happens. Like J.J. Redick's final 3 games of the year mirrored his first 3 games of the year when he couldn't make anything.
Yeah.
Had tons of great shots, just couldn't hit. Like shooters go. Like people want to blame him. It's like, dude, shooters go cold.
Kyle Korver's missing shots right now, and like he's the best shooter I've ever seen out of like spot up shooting.
Yeah, like guys miss shots. Like they're not robots. You don't hit 45% of your threes every night. Like that's not possible. That's why there's averages.
So at what point then do you guys start worrying?
I'll put it to you this way.
Go.
No, go ahead, Craig. Go ahead.
There you go. I was going to say,
Okay.
if you get a second round exit next year in the exact same circumstances with like Chris Paul and Blake Griffin's contracts, they got options, I think, 2017 summer. That's when you start thinking, all right, you've got to win this next year.
I'll put it like this. Well, first off, next year, like if they lose in the playoffs next year, it depends on who they lose to. Like, you know, if they lose, like for instance, a fully healthy Oklahoma City team, am I going to get pissed? Not really.
The Lakers in the first round?
Yeah, I get pissed.
That would have to be like a 1-8 or a 2-7, which would be really bad.
The Lakers
I just look at it.
I know.
I just look at it like they gotta stay. Like they're not getting worse. Like I think people think like they're getting worse because they're not progressing in the playoffs. Like that's not the case. Like they're a better team. They were a better team this year than they were last year. It just didn't spell it out based on how far they went in the playoffs.
What's weird is if they lost in the first round, people would be more accepting than if they lost in the second round.
Yeah, because if they lost to the Spurs, it's like, oh well, it's the Spurs, so.
Yeah,
but
that is that's a good point, Craig.
But you know they freaking lost to Houston, man.
Oh man, boy, that was depressing.
My fun stat for that series was J.J. Redick hit 6 threes in the final 3 games. Trevor Ariza hit 6 in Game 7.
Well,
like,
I watched that close up. Trevor Ariza wasn't missing the year the Lakers beat the Magic.
Yeah,
he is a good playoff shooter. His playoff shooting numbers are good.
Playoff Trevor Ariza is an actual thing. Hashtag pleasure. You know,
it goes right with contract year Ariza.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just have no explanation for Josh Smith and Corey Brewer. Like I really don't.
Doesn't make sense.
People can say they progress to their averages, but it's like no, you don't progress to your averages in 5 quarters. Like that doesn't happen.
It's like 4 games.
Yeah, like they were. I remember I wrote like in film room for Game 6. This was the craziest thing, craziest out of the series by far. The first 23 quarters of that series, Corey Brewer and Josh Smith were 4 for 30 from 3. In the 4th quarter of Game 6 alone, so the 24th quarter, they were 5 for 7. Like you don't just miss 26 threes and hit 5 like that. Like that doesn't just happen.
We need that meme up. Like one does not just simply go 5 for 7 from 4.
Exactly. Like it's unbelievable. And you're right. Like the threes he was taking, the threes Josh Smith were taking, step back threes in somebody's face. Like okay, like all right, like yep, we're gonna lose to Josh Smith today.
Well, and I think people talk about as much as Griffin looked tired on defense. Josh Smith started defending Griffin decently, and that was a pretty high indictment of where Griffin was physically, I think, to close out that series.
Smith actually defended him very well in Game 7. Really,
and give Kevin McHale credit. I thought it was a bonehead move at the time, but he did the right thing. He, the first 4 games, he started Terrence Jones. Game 5, 6, and 7, he started Josh Smith, and it made a difference.
Yeah.
He defended Blake Griffin with energy, which was all that anybody needed to do. And I mean, like I wrote on Twitter last night, I said to really sum up how unlucky the Clippers are, Blake Griffin basically did something only Oscar Robertson has ever done in the playoffs, and Chris Paul did something that only Larry Bird had ever done in the playoffs, and they still lost. Like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it goes. Like because I wrote role players win Game 7. Clippers didn't show up with their role players. Houston did.
Matt Barnes had a really rough series after having a good regular season.
Yeah, I wonder how much the shoulder and the ankle sprain that he had bothered him, but we'll never know.
Yeah.
The Yomama joke probably didn't help very much either.
I'm just really pissed that I had to watch Jamal Crawford.
So why do
go ahead.
What were you gonna say? You go.
No, you go ahead.
Why do Lakers fans seem so happy that the Clippers lost? It just seems like a weird thing.
Well, I probably have a pretty unpopular opinion on this. Like there are a lot of Clippers fans in my mentions when I first went on this Twitter rant. Basically it's like this is gonna sound really high and mighty, but Laker fans should be over what a team who's never come close to sniffing them in the rivalry does in the playoffs. Like, the Lakers were, you had Laker fans rooting for the Spurs against the Clippers, and the Spurs ended the three-peat. Like, nothing to me spells out how fickle a Laker fan can potentially be than that right there. That, like, oh yeah, all that, like, all the, those crazy playoff battles that we had against that team, doesn't matter. We just don't want the potential for LA to be a Clipper city, right? And that was kind of disappointing. Like, you only lend legitimacy to terrible trash talk when you start talking that spewing back at it. There's no way that LA is ever going to be a Clippers city, and the fact that the Laker fans got so offended when it happened just tells me that they aren't as confident as really they should be.
Hold up one sec. Just seen on Twitter, got retweeted, I don't follow them, but Lakers Nation just popped up on my thing saying rumor Lakers would, quote, love to steal DeAndre Jordan from the Clippers.
Well,
no shit. No shit. Like,
makes sense. He's a max player. They need a center. He would actually fit very well with Randall.
Yeah, he would fit absolutely perfectly, but way to go, Laker Nation.
Way to report news that people already know.
They might be one of from where they were at one point. It's really sad to see like the news and the stuff that they post now. There's some stuff, but yeah, that's a bummer.
There's been a big drop off with certain people leaving.
With the whole Lakers fans thing, I look at it like this though, like. You're right though, Anthony. Like the second you start firing shots back, you're basically legitimizing a rivalry that you yourself say doesn't exist.
Right.
Like you're basically giving credence to something that you shouldn't give. Like you shouldn't even recognize at a certain point. Like I'm not gonna lie, the Clippers don't run LA. They're not gonna run LA, and guess what? I don't care.
Yeah. Who cares?
I go to Clipper games, and I don't care. And I find it, but the one thing that I actually love to see on Twitter is Laker fans. Like I saw where like somebody fake retweeted the Lakers account, like the Lakers Twitter account. It was like rent is due on the first Clippers, and it was like they were trying to be funny. It's like, yeah, but you pay rent to the Kings. Like you don't even own Staples Center. Like if you're gonna try to talk crap, at least get some factual stuff behind it.
Well, it's like if I went if I pulled on LeBron James jersey and said, "Hey, dude, bring it. I own this court." Like, it's not like he's gonna go there and say like, "Oh snap, you totally do. You might," Like, he wouldn't
Right.
even laugh. He'd laugh at me, but at the very thought that I might own a court that he is walking on, and I'm not saying well, it's a fair comparison historically speaking. Like, it's never been close. So why legitimize that conversation?
I just find it so weird that like people can't accept that two teams can coexist in the same area.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to hate each other. Like, I didn't become a Clipper fan because I hated the Lakers, or I thought Laker tickets were expensive, which is like two of the things that people mention about why people become Clipper fans, or Clipper fans were just former Laker fans, and then the Lakers got bad. That's why they became. No, like, there's a massive group of Clipper fans who became Clipper fans long before they even gave a crap about the Lakers or what the Lakers did. There's a large contingent of Clipper fans who don't care about the Lakers and what the Lakers do. Personally, I find the Lakers interesting in terms of, like, especially this year with their down season going into the draft lottery. I find it interesting, like, but that's just me. I find certain things interesting that other people don't. I just don't understand why two sides can't coexist. There's not like a war. This isn't a drug war. Like, you can't coexist together.
Get off our
And
corner.
even if we go that route where we say that the two can't coexist, like, in my opinion, for me the point that really like that I would drop a mic with is that is or is not or are not sports more fun with legitimate rivalries?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why Clippers Warriors are so fun.
Right, and it's not a good look for the NBA that the greatest rivalry in its history are between two teams that are 3,000 miles away. Talk about the Lakers and the Celtics. How much more fun would the NBA be if the Lakers and Clippers were both good and both had legitimate stake in the conversation of, yeah, this is a rivalry? And in my opinion, that would be just like that. That's why I was rooting for the Clippers to win, so that the conversation goes beyond, you guys suck right now. Oh yeah, look at all our banners.
Legitimately, how great
Another
would a
conversation
Western
going.
Conference Finals be if it was like Clippers Warriors? I mean, Clippers Lakers. How
Yeah.
like, great would that Western
I would
Conference
just love the
Finals be?
fact they wouldn't have to travel anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it would just
Yeah.
make life so much easier.
They could get it done in 7 days. They could go back to back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. When you said the greatest NBA rivalry is 3,000 miles away, I thought you were gonna seriously mention Clippers Nets. Or something. I'm just kidding. Like, the best budding rivalry in the NBA right there.
That's it right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I look at it like Clipper fans, we're basically like the little brother in a lot of ways. I think we're just tired. A lot of them are just tired of basically being put down, and I think that's why they lash out, which is fine. I mean, you got to stand up for yourself at some point. But even if the Clippers did win, like you were rooting for them to win this year, even if the Clippers did win, you already know what a lot of people would have said. Oh, well, 15, 16 more to go, guys.
Right.
like it's the Clippers are in a no-win situation, even if they win. So
Until
it's
they
like,
win 15.
yeah, and that's not happening. Like that, like, I'm sorry, no team's rattling off 15 titles in 50 years ever again. That's just not happening.
Well, all right, so let's say hypothetically, like, my biggest beef, like the thing that bugged me the most in the history of this rivalry was when Doc covered up. I don't care if he wants to cover up the banners, like, that's fine, whatever, but don't cover up the individual jerseys that these guys busted their ass their entire lives to attain that kind of stature. If you guys would have won, would you guys have taken the selfies down? Like, how would that have gone?
I don't know. And they're not selfies. I hate
Yeah.
when people call them selfies.
That's
They're-
why I said it.
They're portraits.
Yeah, they're portrait pictures. But no, but I don't know. I don't know where the banner would have gone. I'm assuming it would have gone inside Staples because they hung their division titles up in the training center. I don't know. I think they would have just put their banner probably somewhere in the other corner, because the Kings have that one section all to themselves. Like, the one side of the arena is the entire Kings side of the arena.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They've been there like twice, but sure.
Yeah, and you're not covering King stuff. Like that's one prerequisite. Is like you cannot cover King stuff. Like that's their home.
Yeah.
Right.
It probably would have gone in the corner, like to the right of the Lakers, because you know how the Lakers have that left corner. There's like the right corner over there. They probably would have
Yeah.
made something where they could put the banner. You know,
Would
No,
they
they should have
have,
picked up
like,
all
would
the
they?
Lakers
Would you
stuff
guys
and
have
moved
put like one giant banner to make up for the other? You know that.
they should have painted a mural, like they should just,
Uh,
just a mural on the arena.
Just like you could read that from the moon.
What if they had a
want
massive
something-
banner that could drop down? So then, when on Clippers games, they just dropped it a massive banner in front of all the Lakers stuff.
They probably would have done that actually. I don't think, and I honestly I wouldn't have cared.
I would have been pissed about that too. Don't cover our stuff.
We have to fumigate. We have to cover some things, okay? Like just don't worry about it.
All right. So, ask Justin how much alcohol he's got, but how much alcohol have you got, Anthony, ready for the lottery tomorrow?
I'm actually going to pick up a keg on my way home from work. We might do a live show. We might do another shameless plug. I'm sorry, Clipper Central. I keep on taking your airtime for that, but we might actually do a live show during the lottery. So if like those 6 and 7 picks come up and the Lakers name pops up there, bottoms up.
On air. Bottoms up.
On air. No, it's not going to be pretty. It's
What
not
time
going
is
to
it?
be pretty at all. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
What time is the lottery?
5:30 Pacific Standard. So is that like
11:30 a.m.
yeah? So
So that's right in beer time.
yeah, yeah, it's 5 o'clock here. So
Fine.
no, I'm not even kidding. This is probably the most tense time for the Lakers since they were like contending for titles. Like this is easily the most nervous I've been as a Laker fan over the last 2-3 years.
Since that time, Meta World Peace's 3-point shot was halfway towards the rim.
Exactly. Like
Was
as
he
soon
run our
as
test
that,
then? He was run our test then.
yeah, he was. That was as soon as that shot left his fingertips. That's where I am right now. I'm that ball just careening towards the rim. I have no idea what the hell's going to happen. There's an 80% chance that the Lakers are okay, but given recent luck, I'm really scared about that 20.
It's funny you said that.
Go ahead, Justin.
No, it's funny you said that though. It's like the most nervous you've been since the title stuff. And it's funny you said that because I got made fun of like for years just because like whenever obviously the Clippers were in the lottery for like the longest time. And it's like the draft lottery was so like nerve-wracking. Like cuz that's your franchise.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like that's your franchise like
That's
hanging
Blake
in the
Griffin.
balance. Yeah, yeah, Blake Griffin like hanging in the balance of a damn ping pong ball, man.
That's Mike Owen.
Shut up, Craig.
Well, you sit there. It'd be one thing if, like last year, the Lakers, we went through this ordeal last year, and the Lakers were in the lottery, and you didn't know if they were going to move up, they're going to move down, whatever. But at least you knew they were going to keep their pick. But if they somehow lose this pick, that's devastating for the rebuild. We talked earlier about whether or not I'd trade that pick for DeAndre Jordan straight up. That thing is that valuable,
Right.
It's that valuable that's a question. That alone shows how valuable it is.
Exactly.
How many sacrificial lambs is Sam Hinkie slaughtering right now to get Philadelphia to move up to 1, the Lakers pick to fall to 6, and some team from 11 to 14 to jump up so they can get Miami's pick?
All I know is I want the Lakers to keep their pick really badly so we can see Sam cry into his hinky. Bang! That's another one.
Oh my God. I don't know who wins the draft lottery though. I'm in a weird way I'm hoping it's Minnesota.
Yeah. No, my true hope is Utah, but they have a .07 chance. So.
Yeah. I'm just hoping Minnesota. Like I want to see a team with the worst record actually finally win it again. Like
I don't.
We haven't seen it since 04.
Well, I'm who would be the most fun at the top of that lottery? Who would be the most fun? With
Minnesota.
It'd probably be Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean, like to watch?
Yeah, like if you add, like, let's say Karl Anthony Towns
It's not
is
New
the
York.
number one pick.
It's not New York.
Oklahoma City.
It's not the question.
I'm sorry.
Imagine.
I guess the most fun would probably be Minnesota, right?
Yeah. like if they came to your arena, you'd have to go watch them.
Right. Well, Wiggins was incredible. I'm bummed.
Yeah, I saw him in person.
I could have seen that game, and I didn't. I really should have.
I saw him later on in the year when they came to play the Clippers. That was pretty cool to see him. Like, you could see how good he was.
Orlando would be pretty fun too, actually.
Where are they? Are they 3?
3. That'd be fun. They'd be fun.
Yeah. Although
Tibbs
Tibbs might kill whoever they draft.
Yeah, but I can't think where like Orlando's funny because they've got good players at every position and they don't have a all-out superstar. The only position I think they'd be really happy with is like Oladipo, and then if they think Aaron Gordon's a 4, then they're 4, and maybe Peyton. But like all 3 of those.
3.
Sorry.
They think he's a 3, Aaron Gordon. They think he's a 3.
I'd rather.
Which I hate.
Yeah, he's a 4.
Yeah.
They have to play him at the 3 because Tobias Harris is there at the 4.
See, God. Well, they're gonna get rid of Tobias. I don't think they bring back Tobias Harris. So.
I'd be perfectly happy with the Lakers picking up Harris. That'd be awesome.
The draft lottery is just such a it's so crazy, and I know everyone always assumes that it's rigged. Like, no matter who wins, everyone just assumes it's rigged. Oh, Minnesota won. Oh, it's rigged because they want to get somebody next to Wiggins. Like, oh, okay. Like, yeah.
No, if the Lakers somehow win the lottery tomorrow, knock on wood, the amount of hot takes that spew into the Twitter sphere will, I mean, like global warming, we ain't see anything yet. I don't know if we're allowed to cuss on this thing, but
go for it.
We haven't seen a damn thing yet as far as hot takes if the Lakers somehow win the lottery.
Was damn you cuss? That wasn't a very good cuss.
Well, I don't know. It sounds terrible. Now it's like forced if I ask about it and then pop off.
Twitter's going to melt down if one of 3 things happens. The Knicks win, the Lakers win, or the Lakers lose their pick.
Yeah.
Like those 3 things, one of those 3 will cause Twitter to it'll just melt.
Well, yeah, because
honestly, thank God the Clippers and Warriors are not playing tomorrow night, because if they were and the Lakers lost their pick and the Clippers somehow won last night, Twitter would cease to exist.
No, you say Twitter's going to melt if the Lakers lose their pick. If Twitter melts, it's because I light it on fire. Like the whole website. I'll go to Twitter's headquarters in San Francisco and just light everything on fire. Sorry, FBI, I won't actually do that, but I'll think about it.
I got a question for you, Anthony. If the Lakers, let's say the Lakers don't win the draft lottery, who would be the team besides the Lakers though that you'd want to see win it?
Out of everybody in the lottery, or like likely teams to win it?
Well, we'll do both. Anybody in the lottery and then likely teams.
Anybody in the lottery? I agree with Craig. It'd be so much fun to see Utah win it. That team is like one piece away from being just incredible for the next few years. Likely teams, I'd say New York.
Really?
I'd probably say New York.
The NBA is better when New York's good.
Yes, there's that, but I just think I want to see how Phil handles that. No matter what he does, it's going to be interesting, right? Like no matter who he takes, and all the speculation about what the Zen Master does, in the next month or so, that becomes immediately the most interesting plot line in the NBA, aside from the actual playoffs that are going on.
I'm not even going to watch that much of the playoffs anymore. I'm not even going to lie.
I'm interested in. I want to see. I want to see Golden State LeBron. I want to see if LeBron has one last great run in him.
What? I think Atlanta have a better chance, actually.
Right.
Maybe not.
No, I agree. I'm saying like if he has that like next level that he
Yeah,
can.
if he goes 30,
lift
10,
that
and 10
team
in the
up.
playoffs from here. Like if he has
Yeah.
that 30, 10, and 10 spurt in him. Still.
Yeah, if he
Now-
has something crazy like that.
Now, if LeBron, let's say LeBron doesn't win the title, let's say they beat Atlanta, and let's say they beat Golden State, would beating Golden State be his greatest finals accomplishment?
With this team, yes. Because this team's the worst team.
No, just him in general. Just him in general. What would be the greater accomplishment? Him beating this Golden State team or him beating that Spurs team?
I'd say the Spurs team, considering what we saw that Spurs team do to him the next year. That's just off the top of my head.
I'd
'Cause
say
I think
this just because he has no teammates. Like Irving's on one foot, one leg.
Yeah.
And
No,
plus,
no.
I think Golden State's just so head and shoulders above everybody else.
They're so good.
Has anybody called Kyrie Irving Kyrie hurting these playoffs or no?
Oh my god.
Yes, you.
Oh my god.
You know Irving was born in Australia?
He was?
Yes, you can't claim him, Craig,
We tried to claim him for the Olympics, and he said no.
because no one wants to claim Australia.
No,
No
he
one wants
actually-
to claim Australia.
He had a choice. He could have played for Australia or America in the last Olympics, and he said no. Well, screw him, because we're going to be better than you in like 5 years.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Relax. Oh, speaking of Australia, I was watching Last Week Tonight on HBO, and there was a segment about.
right?
I heard about
Yeah.
this. Haven't seen it yet. I got to watch it.
Oh, you need to watch it, man. Oh, it's so great. Yeah, who was it? The Secretary of like Transportation or something? Was that who it was?
No.
I'm
My
finding it.
favorite line in there, Craig, I'm going to kill this for you, but the best line in there is when that radio host
Oh God, yes.
calls him an
He goes,
Oh my
you beat an insensitive wanker. Like
Yeah.
he tells him that. It's so
That's
great.
No, Craig, you got to see that.
If
You
any
have
of
to
you
see-
find the link for it, I'm having a look on YouTube now.
It's probably not up on YouTube yet.
Use my HBO Go. I'll DM you my HBO Go stuff, Craig.
All right.
But,
By the way, HBO Go, such a great thing.
yeah. They're literally giving their service away.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
Before we finish, let's do it. Big board, top 5.
Oh, Big Board top 5.
5 to 1. Should we go? Should we all say 5? And then
Yeah,
all
we
say
should.
5?
We'll just do it as like so. Someone will say 5, and we'll just go
Alright.
through 5.
You go. Let's all go. Anthony, Justin, me.
Okay, so Anthony, who's your 5?
In order or just like the number 5 guy?
Yes,
Just your number 5 guy on the big board.
Ooh. Stanley Johnson.
Okay. I haven't released a big board recently. If I have to go number 5, I will go with Okafor
At 4?
at 5.
He's super low on him.
I thought we were going like 5, 4, 3, 2, and then.
Yeah, we
okay.
are. Yeah, we are.
No, I thought like I was going 5, you were going 4.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wow, number 5? Oh my God, I'm not even kidding. I'd be the happiest person ever if Jahlil Okafor
Yeah, no,
landed at the
I'm
Lakers.
higher than that. But anyway, Willie Trill Coley
I'm
Stein.
punching you, Craig.
He's the trillist though.
First things first, he's the trillist.
Drop this and make the whole world.
All right, so number 4. I think I'm gonna go with Emmanuel Mudiay. Will be my 4.
Anthony.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's good.
My number 3, and he moved up a lot, is Kristaps Porzingis.
What?
Yep.
I'd be so effing angry if the Lakers take him at 3.
They're not.
I'd be angry if anyone took him in the top 5.
Yeah.
He's gonna go top 5, and the Lakers won't pick him. Anthony, you have nothing to worry about. The Lakers won't pick him. They're not gonna pick an international guy. That's not a Lakers thing.
I hope not.
They did draft Marc Gasol.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
a second
was
round
like
pick.
I think it was like 7th or 58th pick or something crazy like that.
He was a little fat boy too.
Yeah.
So
All right,
number.
Who's 3 for you then, Craig?
Okafor.
Okay.
Man, you guys
What
have
about you?
Okafor way low.
At 3, you only have him one spot higher.
I don't know. You don't know?
I do know.
Who's your number 3?
Russell. D'Angelo Russell.
Russell's my number 2.
Yeah, same.
Who's your number 3 then?
Porzingis.
Oh yeah, that's right. I thought you went crazy. I was giving you a second chance there.
He did go crazy.
Is it my turn for 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
Towns. I'd go Towns too.
Whoa.
You have Okafor number 1?
Yeah, I do.
Wow. So Craig, you have Towns 1.
Yeah, Towns.
Obviously.
Can I defend my position really quickly? It'll take 2 seconds.
Yeah, go.
Go right ahead. Big butt.
I just think in this day and age with like social media and all the scouting and ESPN, the 24/7 news cycle, it's to nobody's advantage to come out as like the top prospect in any given year. Because all that's going to happen that next season is you're going to get torn apart, torn to pieces throughout the entire year. And I think that's I saw a lot of that happen with Jalil.
I can agree with you on that, especially in the case of the NFL, because the one guy I saw that happen to the most was Matt Leinart.
Right.
Well, he went back for his senior year. He got ripped apart on every pass.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I agree with you. Especially because now you have those Twitter scouts who like they only watch 1 or 2 games and they just get their opinions on those.
Exactly.
Like basically, people only
like, as soon as opinion becomes popular, like everybody just freaking vultures over it. And I just I'd rather just the dude deserved to be in the top, in the discussion for the top at the beginning of the year, and he ended up there at the end of the year, and it's close. I'm not saying it's a landslide or that it's an easy pick, but that's where he fell.
It's funny because the Towns Okafor thing to me is a lot like Parker Wiggins from last year, just with big men.
Yeah.
But I was like 100% sure Wiggins was better than Parker last year.
Yeah, but I'm 100% sure Towns is better than Okafor. I just think there's people who perceive Okafor and Parker similar in terms of like, quote unquote, they're both ready now.
Yeah.
Whereas Wiggins and Towns are projects who are better defensively than they are offensively.
I think Towns has better. I like Towns' skills more than I like Okafor's skills. If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. It's going to be an interesting draft.
What he's best at compared to what Jalil's best at?
Sorry?
By skills, you mean you like what Towns is best at compared to what Jalil's best at?
Yeah, I like how his skills translate to the NBA, especially like most teams in the NBA. I think you could put him on any team in the league and run any offense with Towns, whereas, I don't know, Okafor was a little slow-footed on defense, and on offense it feels like because he doesn't have as much range, he doesn't move around on the floor as well.
Yeah,
I'm just interested to see, like seriously, because tomorrow's going to tell us a lot.
Yeah,
like, that's the one thing, and I can't believe it's already tomorrow. Like tomorrow's already here.
Oh no, I could not disagree more. Like I've been counting days. It's really sad. Like the last week or so, I've had like dreams of ping pong balls chasing me down the street and stuff. It's been scary.
Oh, so like kangaroos in the outback?
Exactly. Yeah.
If it's the Knicks, then I'd take Okafor just because I think like Jackson would use him really well.
Yeah.
Oh, like in that offense, he really looks like a guy who could fit in the triangle, sort of like Bynum.
Right.
Well, plus Phil's enamored with ass. So yeah, no, but tomorrow's gonna tell us everything. Like seriously, tomorrow will tell you everything you need to know. When Cleveland got the #1 pick last year, we knew they were going Wiggins.
Right.
Like it wasn't even a question. The only year we didn't know what was going to happen was 2 years ago with Anthony Bennett, and that's just because Nerlens Noel was injured.
Yeah,
like, Nerlens
Noel
would have been the #1 pick, but he was injured.
I still wanted him to go #1.
He should have, but whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we saw what happened with Bennett. He's been not very good. So.
But see, the thing with Bennett, and I've had this conversation with people, I wonder how much of Bennett's struggles the first 2 years are A, because he was injured his first year, and B, because he's stuck with Flip Saunders.
And weight of expectation.
Yeah, and the weight of expectation. Like he's not going to be. He might be that guy who in 3 years some team picks up and starts slowly getting it together.
Wait, no, Bennett wasn't stuck with Flip Saunders his first 2 years. He was in
No, but
Cleveland.
last year, but this past season he was.
Because he wasn't good in Cleveland either, though.
He
Oh, I
was
see.
hurt.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Alright,
he was
hurt.
injured his first year, and then he was in shape this past year. It's just I don't trust Flip Saunders with guys.
Like
But
I think
couldn't you have
he
said
could
the
be a
same
fine
thing with
role player.
Derek Williams, though?
Well, no, because I think Derek Williams played. Derek Williams was healthy. He was still playing. He just didn't produce. And honestly, as weird as it sounds, Derek Williams has carved out a niche for himself as like an energy guy. And I mean, I
Yeah,
hate
but like you don't want your first overall pick to carve out a niche.
no, you don't. And
He has to be a
well, but
star.
it's like when I had the argument with the guy about OJ Mayo, who some guy called him a bust. I was like, how the hell is he a bust? Like the guy's like a career 50-point per game scorer. Like if you could get that out the number 3 pick, you're happy.
Right, but you're okay, number 3 pick. But like my I don't know, if I'm picking in the top 5, I want a cornerstone of my franchise for the next 10 years.
It's just hard to get them.
But you don't get you get one of them in each draft. You don't get 2, 3,
No,
4
I'm
guys.
I'm not saying like
Oh, not like the
I'm not saying
superstar. You
that
just
he has
mean
to be the guy for the next 10 years. I'm saying like he has to be a part of my franchise for the next 10 years.
he has to be a quality starter on a really good team.
Right. That's what I'm looking for out of the top 5. That like you can play him and feel happy about it in a playoff series for the next 10 years.
So like if you could guarantee a guy to be as good as like I don't know, peak Denny Granger, it's like third best player on a championship team, how high do you think he'd go if you were guaranteed to have him that good?
I don't see why he wouldn't go top 5. It always depends on the draft, but
Yeah, I'd comfortably take a guy like that third.
I think he'd even go as high as number 2. Like if you were guaranteed that's what he would be, yeah, he's going number 2.
right.
Yeah.
I just
but-
think, yeah.
Did you
I don't
want
know,
to?
we'll see.
What was
Did
that?
you want to go over title picks really quickly, or did we do that already?
No, we haven't done that. Yeah, right. So, Western Conference Finals projection and then Finals projection. You can go, Anthony.
All right, I'll go. Warriors, obviously out of the West. I think they win in 5. I think they're going to smoke Houston, even though James Harden doesn't think they're that good. And then I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to go upset. I think Cleveland gets by Atlanta. It's a slight upset. It's not going to be that crazy a pick. And then I think the Warriors are going to beat Cleveland in a sweep. That'll be my crazy one.
All right, go, Just.
Warriors in 4 over Houston. Average margin of victory of at least 15 points per game. They're going to kill them. It's not even going to be close. It's going to be like Houston has nothing for that team. Like that's why it sucks because Golden State's going to win the West without ever playing Sacramento, without ever playing San Antonio or the Clippers. Like those were the other
They're
two
two
best
toughest
teams in the
matchups.
conference. Yeah, like those were the 2 toughest matchups they had. They're not going to be. They don't have to play them. So yeah, I have them in 4 easily. Atlanta, Cleveland. I'm going to go with Atlanta. I think their shots finally fall. I got Atlanta in 7, and then as much as it pains me, I got Golden State in 6 over Atlanta.
Yep, I've got Dubs in 5, but like the game they lose is the gentleman's sweep. They give up that last game or something like that in Houston, and then come through and kill them in Golden State.
Those games in Golden State, those home games in Golden State, they're going to obliterate
25
them.
points. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Then Hawks in, I want to say 6, but it's always weird picking, like, the home team doesn't normally lose Game 6.
Except this year, all the road teams have won Game 6.
I'll go Hawks in 5, but like a close 5, like the margin of victory is small.
Wait, didn't the Clippers win Game 6? I'm just kidding.
I'm going to hit you so hard right now. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
You're a jerk. We're not having you back.
Oh man, poor Justin's all in the dark now. Oh, I'm sorry, Justin. I turned off your lights.
It's okay. The sun went down. Let me know the season's over.
Do you know what happens in Australia when the sun goes down?
Shut up, Craig.
Kangaroos come out.
So you have Atlanta over Cleveland in 5?
Yeah, but like I don't like that. Too often amount of games is taken for how close the series is. Like if a series goes 5, people think, oh, they killed them. But if the margin of victory is 3, that's really close. So I think it's going to be one of those like 5 games, but competitive as. And then give me the Warriors in 7.
Yeah, it's just.
So here's a fun one. Over under 453s in the next 2 rounds.
Atlanta's shooting over 100. The Warriors are shooting over 100. J.R. Smith's shooting over 100.
Yeah, no. It also depends on games, like how many games.
Yeah, like the Warriors might not shoot that many because they could just beat them so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. There's gonna be.
I'll go under just because I don't think the game's gonna be enough.
No, they're gonna go over. Because Houston's gonna start chucking. Houston will probably average about 37 threes.
A lot of threes. Yeah, no, over Houston.
Well, they're the 4 highest 3-point attempt per game teams. So, like, they're gonna run and chuck, man.
How crazy is it? 450. Like, that's so many. Like, that's at most they're gonna play what?
21.
21 games total?
Yeah. Because each series can go 7.
Yeah.
Well, think about it like this. Even if you only play 14 of those 21 possible games, 453s only comes out to 32 threes per game.
Only.
Only.
Byron Scott's turning in his grave.
I didn't even know he died.
I'll even say that I'll say Golden State averages, or actually not averages, hits at least on the attempt scale at least. Let's see. I'll go with they take about 200 themselves in the next 2 rounds.
They go over easy. Well,
all right.
You know what's funny? So many people hate the Warriors, but like if you were making a team in your mind that you wanted to be the best team possible to watch, it would be a team that shoots a lot of threes, plays at a high pace, works really hard on defense, and gets out at run.
Yeah, they're just.
It is a crazy entertaining player.
Yeah, they're just full of monumental dickbags. What? They have the cockiest players, man.
I don't really care. Like you have a problem with the whole running the score up. I don't care. The whistle's still going.
No, it's not that I have a problem. See, normally I don't have a problem with running the score up. Like running the score up's fine. Just don't leave your starters in when you're up by 20 with 3 minutes to go. Like that just serves no purpose. But if the opposition
starters are still in, like he only does that when the opposition starters are still in.
But that shouldn't be Steve Kerr's issue. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, Memphis still has the starters in. It should be like, well, I don't want my starters to get injured.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's no way Memphis is coming back from down 20 with 3 minutes to go. Like, it's freaking Memphis, man.
Hey, we saw Josh Smith get hot. You never know with Tony Allen.
Shut up.
Tony Allen.
Oh my god.
First team on defense.
Yeah, he certainly wasn't first team all offense. Jesus.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Anytime.
No problem.
Anytime.
Have fun tomorrow, Anthony. Thoughts are with you guys.
I'll try.
Hey, my birthday's on Wednesday, Anthony. So I'm guaranteeing that tomorrow night you guys get at least the second pick.
I'll take that. That could be like the greatest reverse jinx of all time, but I'll take it.
No, but you know, if you remember, I've said you guys are gonna get the second pick since like February.
I'd be fine with. Yeah, I just all I care about is that they keep their pick because in the top 5 there's talent at all 5 spots. That's all I care.
You just like that's the one thing with the draft. Like if we're gonna say anything before I go off air, like the one thing with the draft is like there's always the line of talent in the sand. You never want to be below it.
Right.
And there's always like a cutoff, like after like the top 5 or 6 players. You don't like if you hear a draft is deep, that means the draft doesn't have talent at the top.
Or
That's just
the other way to put it is, or an even stronger law about the draft is, if your team just suffered the worst season in its franchise's history, you better hope you have a pick the next season.
yeah.
That seems like
That too.
law.
All right.
All right.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday, Justin.
All right, later, guys.
I'll send you a T-shirt for your birthday.
Oh, thanks. That's so cute. Go really well with my Austin Rivers jersey.
You can wear it underneath.
Okay, sweet.
See you guys.
Bye.